morning, my friends. How are you this morning? Matthew James again at the Urambi Hills at sunrise. There isn't a lot of light, there isn't a lot of blue skies, but there is a lot of energy here. What I want to talk about briefly this morning is the core beliefs. How did you find the core belief question? Are you able to actually express what your core beliefs are? Do you know what your core beliefs are? What's the purpose or the point of knowing your core beliefs? There'll be all these questions being thrown. All I know is that your core beliefs represent your true self, your authentic self, the real you. And in order to find the real you, you have to know what the purpose of your soul is, what the purpose of your life journey is. True authentic self, in my opinion, is all about creating the right impression and using your magnetic energy, your magnetic attraction, or your electromagnetics to influence people in the right way. And true self is really about, in a way, being pretty selfish, because you are in your own reality. There's only you in your world. So why focus on everybody else who are figments of your imagination, who are aspects of yourself? Shouldn't you be focusing on yourself? Now, here's the point of me talking about true self, because when you are true self, you disconnect from the separateness, the separatedness, which is what the world is being created to be, where everybody is in their own little bubble. You do actually break away from that, and you then connect with the great oneness, the connectiveness. You become part of the environment, you become part of existence, and you become aware of the existence that is within here. It's not out there. You're never going to find the angel out there. You're never going to find the master out there. That's all illusion. Looking for it on the outside is the glamour or the virtual reality that the ego has created. And looking for it out there, you might find something that says that it's angelic, or says it's the archangel, or says it's the grand master, or says it's the famous rock star, or says it's a famous singer. But it's your ego that has created that imagery. It's gone into the Akashic records and it's found that memory, and it's using that memory to entice you along the journey that your ego wants you to go down. When you tune into true self and you become part of the great one, all aspects of the universe are within you, are part of you, are you. So the journey goes within. You journey within and you find the answers within. And there is a distinct difference between connecting from the outside and connecting from the inside. Connecting from the inside, you become that person, that entity. You actually become that entity because it is an aspect of yourself. You become it, and because you become it, you shine its light, and you connect to its consciousness, and its consciousness will flow through you because it's part of you and you're part of it. And that is my core belief. That is my core action. That is how I've worked out that I actually work as a medium. I become the actual person I'm connecting with, and I merge my consciousness with that entity's consciousness, and then the answers are easy, the information's easy, because I'm thinking and acting like that person. But I'm going to ask the question to the universe here: can everybody else work that way? If they haven't got the genetic gene that I've got, the shape-shifting gene, can they work in that way? That is the question that I'm asking, because I'm putting my philosophy out. I can teach people. I am a teacher, I am a mentor, and if you want mentoring on psychic development, or you want mentoring on how the psychic senses work or what the psychic senses are, then come to me. I mean, I've had experiences of this. I'm now a 50-year-old. I'm a young looking 50-year-old, as I keep saying, but I started experiencing this. I mean, I was consciously aware of this when I was a 5-year-old. and it was going all the way through my life. I didn't know what it was until I was in my late teens, but I was working with it. So I'd already perfected my own psychic ability by the time I was 20. I didn't realise that. My ego took over. I had a huge ego. I hold my hand up. My ego was massive in those days. When I was at the psychic centre and the developing, I could do the things just like that. But I did it to show off. I did it to compete. I did it to try and get attention. And I've learnt that. It isn't like that. I've stepped back and now I see fucking others doing the same bullshit. I see others doing the same ego strutting and the same identification with ego. Ego doesn't serve people, it serves itself. So those of you out there, you naughty people out there who are being ego driven, you are serving your ego, you are not serving others. Now, lecture over. What I want to talk about as well is once you've connected to this great universe out here, this wonderful place, and I absolutely adore the Urambi Hills. I mean, this is becoming quickly one of my favourite places. Once you've connected to the great outdoors, the great universe, the great universal divide, you then have the ability to blend and merge with other consciousnesses on this planet. The birds, the bees, the trees, the rocks, whatever it is that you wish to blend and connect with, you can actually do it because they are the same consciousness as you. They're in a different vibration, and you need to find their vibration and vibrate yourself at the same vibration as them to therefore become like them. This is the story of when you've got two guitars or two violins in the same space, and just bear with me with this, and one guitar, the string starts vibrating, you vibrate a string of that guitar, automatically that other guitar or that other violin will start playing the same note or will vibrate at the same note. That's how frequencies work. That's how vibrations work. A vibration sends a ripple out into the thought forms, and it's automatically finding things of its same vibration. And that's how sound works. Sound frequency, you hear a voice, it's where you've got a wavelength going through what we call the air. Well, it works as with consciousness as well. If you put a certain vibration out, you are going to find other things of that vibration. This is the simple law of wavelengths and simple law of vibration. So what you do, if you want to be out in nature and you want to find out what your vibration is and how your vibration is working, go out in nature and see what birds and animals you attract. See what comes to you on the vibration that you are. Then, when you are in nature, consciously change your vibration and see what comes to you then. This is my core belief, my core shamanic background, my core shamanic teaching of what totem animals are. When I put a frequency out and an animal comes to me, it's because our consciousnesses have merged. And at that moment, that animal or that bird represents me in nature. So by looking at the meaning of that animal, or by looking at the meaning of that bird, I know what is happening in my life or in my psyche or my consciousness at that time. And this is the idea of totem animals and totem birds. And this is really the idea, and I'm just gonna get my clean my lens a little bit. Excuse me a second, that's better. Now purists would say, I'd be horrified that I've cleaned my camera lens with my little finger, but tough. So yeah, so the basis, and I've got my Kestrel coming over here, so I'm going to be very brief because my friend has just landed. There's the Kestrel. I don't know if you can see the Kestrel. Good morning, Kestrel. There he is. I don't know if you can see him there, but he's flying over. So yeah, so I'm going to be very brief because I've just attracted one of my totem animals. This is how it basically works. You put a vibration out, you get a totem animal coming to you, presenting itself to you. And Kestrel is all about agility, it's all about speed, it's all about intelligence and mind power. And at the minute, it is very apt for me. So if you want to go out in the field and you want to find what your totem animals are, go out and just walk around nature and take a real note of what you see. Doesn't matter if it's just a starling, doesn't matter if it's just let me say a wren, or it's just a magpie, or it's just a magpie lark, or it's just a starling, or it's just a minor bird. There's no just about it. They are consciousness like we are, and they will present themselves to you, and it is a personal message from consciousness to you, and that is what totem animals are. Now, a power animal is a little bit different. A power animal is like the kestrel. I constantly get kestrels around me. You have to walk or be in nature on consecutive days, weeks, months, and see what is the same animal or bird that presents itself to you. That is what I understand as a power animal. They are working with you. They're working with you on a conscious level, on a telepathic level, to change your way of thinking. And when you change your way of thinking, you act differently to other people. So you're actively changing their way of thinking as well. And that is the idea of existence here. It's about changing way of thinking and changing way of perception, and that is the basic idea of everything at the moment. Now, I'm actually going to cut it very short at this moment, and I'm going to go for a walk. I will be filming a little bit later, but I'm going to go and capture some kestrels, so capture some pictures of some kestrels. So I'll speak to everybody later. Bye. Let me share my pleasant surprise with you. In this tree here, as we get closer, you'll see exactly what it is. It is a kestrel. And it's been waiting for me to come down the hill. They say truth and forgiveness are virtues. They say that they are the things that we aspire to. It's true. That is what we aspire to. That is true self, total forgiveness, acceptance of the one reality and the oneness. That's fine. That's great in principle, but when you actually put it into practice, you don't half get a lot of stick for it. You don't half get a lot of accusations, things you're supposed to have done, things you're supposed to have said, analysis of everything that you do, things broken down into little pieces, and you have everything about your life analysed. That's what the ego does. The ego is trying to find a way of convincing somebody who is caught in separateness that the way of consciousness and the way of the one is not the right way. So you will get a lot of backstabbing and a lot of egotistical actions against you, and a lot of rumours put out there, a lot of things spread, a lot of hostility, because that is basically what the ego does. The ego does not want you to identify with truth, doesn't want you to identify with consciousness, oneness. It wants you to be separate. It wants, divide and rule is an ego-driven principle. If you divide people and you rule people, you've got separateness. This has been the basis of religion. It's been the basis of politics. It's been the basis of the controlling factions in this world for centuries. As one entity, we are really powerful. If we were the one consciousness, totally forgiving, totally loving, totally caring, there wouldn't be any wars. There wouldn't be any need for wars. There wouldn't be separateness. There wouldn't be need for gangs and groups and teams and little exclusive groups, that clicky little ego groups. There wouldn't be any need for all that separateness, because there wouldn't be this need for this separate ego. There wouldn't be this need for this this battling that we do. Yes, so separateness is ego driven. It's an ego based principle, but this is the issue, that when you do become one, you do become the true self. You do become part of the consciousness that people don't see and are told that it is an imaginary, elusive, made up scenario. The skeptics The skeptics decry anything that us mystics do. That is the ego. That is the ego society. That is the divide and rule mechanism again. That is the ego creating a mechanism, a shadow, that is trying to prevent or seeking what is naturally ours, which is our natural right. And I just jumped over a stone then. It is our natural right to be one. And this is what psychic development is all about. Becoming oneness, becoming wholeness, not playing the game that ego wants you to play. That's ego driven. That's separateness again. The New Age movement is just the same as Christianity, or it's just the same as a political party. It's a tool to separate people from others. So all this idea of let's say, again, I'm going on to the guides, I'm going on to all the fashion accessories that the New Age declares. It's all part and parcel of the identity of another separate little notion. The best way to actually psychically develop is going within yourself. All the answers are inside. You don't need anything external. Every now and again, it's nice to get a validation that what you're doing is right. I will say that, but effectively, once you touch on the one mechanism, once you touch on that consciousness, you really don't need anything but yourself. But that in itself then creates a problem, because you then get all this opposition, you get all these shadows, you get all this backstabbing, you get all this baiting, you get all these issues that we actually find in every industry. It's not just the psychic world. If you are unique in anything that you do, you're going to get competition. You're going to get this opposition, because you stand out like a sore thumb. You are basically that thumb, and that thumb is going to get critique from all the other fingers. If you are that goat in the field, you're going to get noticed by all the sheep, and you're going to get opposed for it. But once you are true self, you have the strength to be able to take those knocks. You've got the strength of truth. You know the truth. They don't know the truth. They are lost in an illusion that they think is the truth. There's a great difference. When you know the truth, you have no fear. Fears disappear. Fear is ego created. It is created as a ruling of separateness again. So once you've lost separateness, you lose fear. And once you lose fear, you can stand in your own light, and it doesn't matter what is thrown at you. It doesn't matter what they do to you. You are truth. You know your true purpose. You know your true goal, and you just stand in your own light. So here's me this weekend, and I must admit, the daggers were out. The competition was very rife, I must admit. And there's people in my shadow. I always smile now when I see people trying to emulate me, trying to copy me, because it's a scenario of, you might have taken a bit of a download, you might have done a bit of a BitTorrent of my software, so to speak, but it's a very poor copy. It's a very poor copy indeed. And that's all I'm going to basically say on the matter. People can try and emulate me, which they do, and I acknowledge that I'm being emulated and I'm being copied, and I smile, because true self is doing its job. It's doing its job. I'm getting people who are noticing me. All right, they're trying to oppose me, they're frightened of me, they want to ridicule me, people want to bring me down, they want to stop me getting clients, they want to do all this, but it basically means that I'm doing something right. So all I say is, bring it on, continue. I'm going to play the Judas Priest song, Bring It On. That is one of my title tracks. That's one of my signature tracks, Bring It On, because basically I'm in my own shadow. I'm not in my own shadow, I'm in my own light. Because I'm in my own light, I'm not fearful of people who are in my shadow. So, good day everybody, enjoy yourselves today. It's going to be a fabulous day, it's going to be a fabulous week, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye.